Welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe, where enduring wisdom meets the strength of presence, and where we uncover the truths modern society refuses to teach men. In today's world, too many men find themselves stuck in relationships where they're undervalued, unappreciated, or even taken for granted. Yet, it's one of the most important lessons a man can learn, mastering his peace by detaching from those who don't see his worth. This video will teach you how to protect your self-respect and reclaim your power when faced with a woman who doesn't value you. We'll dive into the principles of emotional intelligence, historical lessons from men who've mastered detachment, and real-world relationship wisdom that will empower you to take action. If you're ready to elevate your mindset, gain the strength to walk away, and rediscover your value, hit that like button, share this message with those who need to hear it, subscribe to our channel, and comment below with your thoughts as we dive into this powerful journey of self-discovery. Chapter 1. Understanding your value. The foundation of detachment. In the early 19th century, there was a man named Napoleon Bonaparte, whose rise to power shaped the course of European history. Though many admire his ambition and leadership, what is often overlooked is his ability to recognize his worth, not just as a military leader, but as a man who understood the importance of setting boundaries. Napoleon's relationships, particularly with women, were no exception. Josephine, the woman he loved deeply, failed to appreciate his sacrifices, his greatness, and the weight of his ambitions. Despite his unparalleled achievements, Napoleon knew that he couldn't allow someone, especially someone he loved, to diminish his sense of self. He detached, he moved forward, and ultimately he recognized that in order to protect his future, he needed to focus on his own value. This is where many men struggle today. They allow themselves to be undervalued by women who don't see their worth or who take them for granted. So, how can you begin to master your peace? The first step is recognizing your inherent value. Self-worth is not dependent on external validation. It's rooted in your understanding of your own abilities, your contributions, and your purpose. When you allow someone to undervalue you, you're betraying your own self-respect. Emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and control your emotions, is key to breaking this cycle. When a woman doesn't value you, it's not a reflection of your true worth, but rather a reflection of her inability to appreciate it. You must see yourself as the prize. A man who is self-aware knows his boundaries and understands that his time and energy are not to be given away freely. If she doesn't respect what you bring to the table, your values, your work ethic, your character, then you must detach. You're not doing this to punish her, you're doing it to honor yourself. Look back to historical figures who were faced with similar situations. Take Alexander the Great, a man who, at a young age, changed the face of the known world. Even in the face of overwhelming power and success, Alexander faced betrayal and rejection, particularly from his close relationships. He learned the hard way that the key to his greatness was not just in conquering lands, but in understanding his own worth and ensuring that those who walked beside him respected it. He knew when to move on and when to detach from those who didn't serve his purpose. Your self-worth should be your guiding light. When you value yourself, others will either rise to meet you or they will fall away. And that is okay. Detachment is not a punishment. It's a protection of your peace, a way to preserve your mental and emotional energy. So ask yourself, are you allowing yourself to be undervalued in a relationship? Are you investing energy into someone who doesn't appreciate your value? Take this lesson from history. When you start valuing yourself, detaching from disrespect becomes easy. The moment you stand firm in who you are, you will realize that your peace is worth more than any relationship that seeks to tear it down. Drop a comment. I choose peace over chaos. Chapter 2. The power of detachment, protecting your peace. In history, there is one man whose name is synonymous with power, but also with the idea of detachment. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. Though he ruled over an empire, the man known as the Philosopher King spent much of his life teaching himself the power of detachment. He learned that true strength isn't in holding on to things but in letting go. Marcus Aurelius faced countless struggles, both personal and political. His reign was marked by wars, betrayals, and the constant pressure of leadership. Yet throughout it all, he wrote in his meditations about the importance of detaching from external chaos, from the noise of the world, and from people who would drag you down. He believed that to achieve true peace, you had to separate yourself from the emotional turmoil others might cause. His advice was simple but powerful. Don't let the actions of others disturb your inner tranquility. As a man today, you must understand that detaching from a woman who doesn't value you is not about running away. It's about protecting your peace. The real power comes from being able to walk away from situations that drain you and from people who refuse to honor your worth. It's about knowing that your time, energy, and emotions are precious and not worth sacrificing for someone who doesn't appreciate them. Consider the powerful love story of Cleopatra and Julius Caesar. Caesar, despite his love for Cleopatra, understood that his own empire, his own legacy, was far more important than clinging to a relationship that didn't serve him. The distance between them, while it was physical, also served as a mental and emotional buffer. He didn't allow his love for Cleopatra to dictate his actions, nor did he allow himself to be manipulated by her. The strength he displayed in maintaining that detachment allowed him to continue his conquest, ensuring his legacy was built on his terms. Emotional intelligence is your greatest ally in practicing detachment. It's the ability to recognize when someone is not acting in your best interest and to step away without guilt. It's the wisdom to understand that your emotional state should not be tethered to anyone else's actions. This is not about being cold or unloving. It's about being strong enough to protect your mental peace at all costs. When you detach, you are not abandoning love or compassion. You are simply refusing to sacrifice your well-being for the sake of someone who doesn't see your value. This emotional strength is what separates men who thrive from men who are constantly held back by toxic relationships. The act of detaching isn't a sign of weakness. It's a profound statement of strength. It's a refusal to let someone else control your emotional landscape. Think of the great warriors of history, like samurai warriors, who trained not just in combat but in emotional discipline. They understood that maintaining inner peace was as vital as any battle skill. They were never shaken by the distractions or disruptions in their environment because they had mastered the art of detachment. In today's world, detaching means recognizing that your peace is your responsibility and that no one, especially a woman who doesn't value you, have the right to take that away from you. The moment you start protecting your peace, you begin to regain control over your life, your emotions, and your future. Drop a comment. I release what doesn't serve me. Chapter 3. The courage to walk away. Knowing when enough is enough. There's an ancient tale about King Solomon, renowned for his wisdom. One of the greatest lessons he imparted was about the importance of knowing when to walk away from a situation that is no longer serving you. As wise as he was, Solomon had his own struggles with relationships. Despite his vast knowledge, he fell victim to the influence of women who did not share his values or respect his wisdom. Over time, these relationships led him down a path of personal turmoil. In the book of Proverbs, Solomon writes, "Do not be deceived by beauty. Do not lust after a woman who is not faithful, for a man's life is not worth giving for her." This is a profound piece of advice for any man. Solomon's downfall came when he allowed relationships to distract him from his purpose and diminish his peace. He failed to detach from those who did not contribute to his life's work. You may be asking, how do I know when it's time to walk away? The answer lies in your emotional intelligence. When your emotional needs are not being met and your value is not being recognized, it's time to step away. Walking away isn't about giving up. It's about having the strength to choose yourself. It's about recognizing that as a man, your peace is far more valuable than any relationship that brings you pain or instability. There is no shame in walking away from someone who doesn't value you. History is filled with men who made powerful decisions by cutting ties with people who didn't appreciate them. Consider Napoleon Bonaparte again. His decision to divorce Josephine was not made lightly, but he understood that he could not allow the weakness in his personal life to undermine his strength as a leader. By walking away, he protected his mental and emotional health, ultimately leading him to greater accomplishments. The courage to walk away is rooted in the belief that you are enough as you are. You don't need anyone to complete you, and you certainly don't need anyone to validate your worth. A woman who doesn't see your value is not a woman worth your time. You may love her, but your peace and well-being come first. Walking away is often the most courageous choice you can make. It takes strength to recognize that you deserve better. It's easy to stay in a relationship because of fear of being alone, fear of rejection, or fear of judgment. But true courage lies in standing up for yourself, knowing that by walking away, you are creating space for something better. Think about Abraham Lincoln, a man who faced immense personal loss and political betrayal. Despite the hardships, he never allowed those circumstances to define him. Lincoln understood that though relationships and loyalty are important, personal integrity and emotional stability must come first. He detached from toxic influences in his life, focusing instead on his duty to the nation and his inner peace. Remember, your greatest act of courage may be the simplest, walking away from someone who doesn't value you. In doing so, you preserve your dignity and open the door to better things. Drop a comment. I protect my peace, no matter the cost. Chapter 4. Reclaiming your peace, moving forward with strength. As we come to the final chapter, let us reflect on one of the most influential men in history, Nelson Mandela. Imprisoned for 27 years for fighting for justice, Mandela's story is one of resilience, strength, and ultimately, the power of peace. What set him apart from many was his ability to detach from the hatred and bitterness that could have easily consumed him. Even after decades of suffering, Mandela emerged not only as a symbol of peace, but as a man who knew that true strength lies in letting go of what no longer serves you. Mandela's ability to reclaim his peace and move forward with strength serves as a powerful reminder for every man. You can rebuild your life after detaching from a relationship that drains you. It doesn't matter how long you've been involved or how much you've invested. What matters is your future, your mental health, and the life you're going to create. The truth is, walking away from someone who doesn't value you isn't just about preserving your peace in the present. It's about creating space for a future that aligns with your values and your goals. In the process of detaching, you rebuild your life stronger, wiser, and more focused on what truly matters to you. Take a lesson from Theodore Roosevelt, another man who was no stranger to adversity. After experiencing personal loss, political battles, and public criticism, Roosevelt didn't allow any of it to break him. He understood that life is filled with setbacks, but it's how you rise from them that defines you. He moved forward with strength, knowing that emotional pain and disappointment were just chapters in his larger story. The act of detaching isn't just about the moment of leaving. It's about reclaiming your peace and your power. It's about recognizing that you deserve to be in a space that nurtures your growth, not one that keeps you stuck in frustration and self-doubt. Reclaim your peace by setting boundaries. Reclaim your peace by investing in yourself, your future, and your purpose. Detaching doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough to protect your inner peace. Your emotional health, your mental strength, and your personal growth should always come first. By stepping away from a relationship that doesn't value you, you're showing the world that you know your worth. You're telling yourself that your happiness is non-negotiable. Remember, detachment is not an end, it's a new beginning. The moment you choose to protect your peace and detach from what no longer serves you, you open the door to a brighter future, a future where you can live with purpose and confidence. The strength you gain from walking away will only fuel your personal growth. You are free to focus on your goals, your dreams, and your potential. You are free to become the best version of yourself. Drop a comment. I am free to live with purpose. If you found value in this message, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support allows me to continue creating content that challenges common misconceptions and brings you insights that others often overlook.